Welcome everyone. I think we're live from Hong Kong to a coffee shop where I had to go to start this YouTube live. I hope you guys were fine, and I hope that you're gonna be able to join us for this live. Come in the chat if you're watching us live. As always, we want to make sure we deliver a lot of value, and we'll make sure to talk about something pretty interesting today. So we'll start with kind of a lesson and some things that you can apply right away to your trading, and then we have a program to introduce you if you want to go further, if you want to go faster toward that path of becoming a full-time trader. But for now, just we'll stick to the lesson. And what's going on, Mandy? Yeah, unusual location for sure. What's going on, Mandy?
We have to start with the weather report. Hey,
Yeah.
Andy V
Oh, shit.
Games. So we have like the best weather. We have 30 degrees, but it's not hot anymore. It's so pleasant. And I went for a run last night at 11 o'clock at night, and it's just the best time of the year. And it's kind of like trading, you know, when you get to this, like at the beginning, you know, it's like really struggling and it's really freezing cold. It's like winter. And then you get to summer, it's like really, really hot. And then you get to this beautiful time, autumn time in your life, in your trading life, where I'm not saying that there's no more challenges anymore, but I'm saying that it becomes so much easier. And looking back, you think like, oh my God, I could have done that so much faster and better. Why did I struggle so much? And it's a beautiful time of the year, and it's a beautiful time of your trading life to arrive at. And so yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today, I think.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Totally fun. And it's funny how you kind of have to coach yourself in life. Like you're the only one who can coach you, and you're probably the best one to coach you in life and everything you do, whether it's gonna be trading or business. And so it's funny. I just ordered a cappuccino here, and I didn't really think about it. Just bought it when I came here, and I was trying to compute after that in my head, like what was the price of the cappuccino, and that turns out to be I think like $8 or $8 US, which I think is like way too expensive for coffee. But that's the price you pay in Hong Kong. But whatever, this shows you that you have to kind of reevaluate and analyze what you do, and then you coach yourself. So I coach myself to not buy cappuccino from now on in Hong Kong. But those are things you have to do over time. So how can we start to apply this in trading to become your own trading coach?
And you know, Etienne, just to add to that, now you're on your way to Taiwan in a few hours, and then you
Yeah.
have to retrain your brain again. How much a coffee is in US dollars? Hi, Susan. Hi, Sammy. And why, you know, first of all, I want to talk about why it is so important to be your own trading coach, because you are with yourself 24 hours a day, every minute. And there is only what you can learn. There's only so much time that you can spend with other people to help you to become better. And that's why it's so important to learn to look at yourself from an external viewpoint and to notice about yourself what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, so that you can continuously improve and continuously and continuously grow as a trader. Now, you know, I've been trading for 16 years now, and my journey is far from over. I'm still growing and still learning, but my growth, my learning has become very efficient because I journal with intention. I don't just go blah, blah, blah. I suck as a trader. What's wrong with me? Why do I always make the same mistakes? I have a structure that I follow in detail. And so becoming your own best coach is, number one, leading you to a path of efficiency, leading you so you know you learn and improve much faster. It's leading you to a path of personal excellence. One of my highest values is peak performance, peak excellence, always being the best that I can be. And you know, it's not always easy. I'm not always my best, and often I am my worst. You know, but I don't judge myself about this. I notice it, and then I look at how can I improve? How can I get out of this hole? How can I be the best version with what I have right now, with all the challenges I have in my life right now? Because challenges will never disappear; they will always be there. But as Tony Robbins says, we can we can meet our challenges in style, you know, in a Porsche rather than in a beat up Hyundai. And so when you become your own best coach, that means that you have learned to ask yourself the questions that propel you forward. rather than asking yourself questions that keep you stuck in the quicksand of your limiting beliefs, of your fears. Or here's your $8 cappuccino. No. So that's why becoming your own best trading coach is so important. Let's just have a look. Millionaire Vietnamese dong. That's funny. Yeah, that's okay. NTV Games, you've reached your first million. Now we are going to change that into another currency, so you can actually increase your net worth as you change currencies. Pretty much what Etienne does, traveling from country to country.
You start with an easy country, like a country with like Vietnam, where you have a low cost of living, then go up and up and up, and that's how it works. So,
exactly. Yeah. Good morning, Bess. Good to see you. How's the weather in Sydney? It was Sydney Mardi Gras, which is amazing because, as you guys maybe have heard, we have for the first time allowed gay marriage. And so this Sydney Mardi Gras is such a milestone because people got married during the weekend, and it's just amazing. And that shows that we have to continuously push for improvement, continuously push for our rights. And when you look at the Mardi Gras and gay marriage, people were pushing for their rights on the external world. What I see with many traders is that they don't give themselves permission to succeed. They're stuck in their limiting beliefs and in their fears, and they keep themselves locked up in their own cages. And I can hear the birds singing in the background, and hopefully that's birds that are free, who are flying around. It's so beautiful. So when you become your own best coach, you also become your own best gatekeeper. You become the one who opens the locks to your freedom, the locks to your wealth creation, the locks to living a happy and fulfilled life. And again, happy, fulfilled life does not mean that that you won't have challenges. A happy and fulfilled life means that whatever challenge you meet in life, you can deal with it in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, it won't always be easy or pleasant, especially when it comes to illness, when it comes to cancer or any of those horrible diseases. But that you will meet it with grace, and you will meet it with certainty, and you will meet it with resourcefulness, finding a way through. And this is.
I think that's probably the best part of it, is the fact that whatever situation you're going to be in, you can find a solution. You can find a way to get better and to improve. So for myself, so let's say outside of trading, let's say I arrive to a new place, a new city, and I don't know nothing about the place, but I know I'll be able to figure it out because I've done it 5 or 10 times before. And same thing goes with trading now. If I have a bad month, I know I can get back because I've done it 5, 10 times before. And it's only a matter of asking probably the right question, and I can get back on track pretty easily. So.
I want to ask you a question, Etienne. So I'm sure we all, as you know, we have an unconscious strategy for everything that we do in life. This is just how our brain works. And, we all have an unconscious strategy of how to brush our teeth. And we are not aware of it until we start developing the self-awareness and actually start noticing, where do I start? What do I do? Some start at the end, some start at the front. When you get to a new country, what is the first thing that you do to familiarize yourself?
I don't know. I just go through
Never thought about that, right?
Never.
This is exactly, I love it. This is exactly what you do when you become your own first best trading coach. So if I were a travel coach, Etienne, I would say, all right, let's have a look. What did you do in the last 5 countries? What was the first thing? And we look at your unconscious strategy, how you familiarize yourself. So I know what I do is I get into my hotel, and then I look for a coffee shop, because coffee for me is home, is familiar. And I'm in this country, in this world that's so unfamiliar and almost a little bit scary, because I used to live in Hong Kong, as you know, right? And for me, it was about discovering this amazing country and figuring out how to connect your gas and your electricity. It was massive, how do you do that in a different language? So that was the first thing. I would go to a coffee shop because coffee was familiar for me. And then I would look for someone that I could trust, that I felt, this person understands my language. This person has been around for a while, and it turned out to be my hairdresser, funny enough. And my hairdresser at the time, she taught me everything I needed to know about how to find a flat in Hong Kong, how to connect my guests, how to find friends, right? Which doctor to go to. And once you have those special elements like where to go shopping, where's your coffee shop, what do you do, whom do you talk to in a case of emergency, then you get this sense of familiarity, and then you can replicate that in every country. So whatever it is for you. So Etienne, again, if I were a travel coach, I would first look at your natural strategy on how you familiarize yourself with the country. Then we would create a strategy on how you can replicate that in every country, fine tune it, improve it out of my own travel experience, out of other travelers' experience.
Right. So
Now,
let's bring this back to trading a little bit. So what would that mean as a trader? Would that mean that people have to learn the strategy for like how to adapt in every market condition, or what's that?
so what we do is every day we do self-reflection. We do look at what was our unconscious strategy to create the result that we did today. And I'm not talking about trading strategy, I'm talking your behavioral strategy. So every day we look at what did I do well today? What did I do not so well today? What is it that I can improve on for tomorrow? Because what I see with most traders, they stay stuck in the past. You know, they talk about I should have taken this trade. I should have closed my position earlier. I should have closed my losing trade earlier. That keeps them stuck in the past. Now, what you want to do is you want to create a new future, right? It's kind of like you saying, I should have stayed in Vietnam. Why did I come to Hong Kong? It's like, no, you're in Hong Kong now. So how can I make Hong Kong a familiar place where I have fun and meet amazing people? Which I know you had an interview with Ray Barrows,
Yeah.
which is really exciting, right? So if we go back to trading, is where am I right now? What is it that I did well, that I didn't do so well? What were the conditions under which I was performing not so well? What are the conditions under which I was performing not so well? So yesterday I was working with a guy and he said, you know, my biggest challenge is when the market is slow, I get bored and then I take stupid trades. So do you think I should stay away, a step away from the market? And I said, I don't know, right? Let's have a look. What is it that you do? What is your strategy, your unconscious strategy to get you into a stupid trade? And so we looked at it and it's like, so I'm sitting here looking at the market, nothing happens. And then I get the thought, I really should do something because I want to get out of my freaking job as quick as possible. And then he starts looking for trades that are not there. And then he pushes the button and then he has the sense of regret because he knows he should not have done that. Now, between pushing the button and his thought is an emotion that creeps up on him. This feeling of urgency, this feeling of being afraid to stay stuck in his job. So we looked at thinking, feeling, and his self-talk and the mental images that he makes before he presses the button, gets into a stupid trade. And so he would say, yeah, exactly, should have, would have, could have. That was his unconscious strategy for him to get into this predicament. And then we created a new strategy for him that it's all about preparing yourself for doing stupid things and then not doing them because there's a gap where you have a choice to behave differently. So when he has this feeling creeping up of, you know, I'm going to be stuck, and then we created a pattern interrupt, as Tony Robbins calls it, where he steps away or where he listens to a podcast or does something else to protect him from continuing this thought of I'm stuck here, I need to take a trade. And then the next thing we looked at is the reality of his trading, and we saw that his best performing times are 8 o'clock in the evening, so our evening Australian time. And now we had a piece of information that we could add to our decision making. When the market is slow, step away until 8 o'clock in the evening. He starts trading at 7, market is slow, go away, come back at 8 o'clock and look at if the market has changed. Yeah, so you can see how much introspection that takes. in order to improve. Now, if he needs me every time to go through the process with him, he's broke, right? Because my hourly rate is quite high, I know, but I think I deliver good value as well. So what I did is I taught him the process to help him become his own best coach, that now he can do that every time for himself. And this is kind of what our goal with our training is as well, Etienne, isn't it? The one that we have coming up. We want our traders to be their own best coach.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's very important. And also, so one thing I used to have, and I still have to these days, kind of a what I call a get back up ritual. So when you have something that happens and you want to kind of get back in the right zone or in the right mood, it's kind of a simple ritual. And as you said, it's a big part of like listening to podcasts or listening to other traders or just taking a walk, and that helps you get back up whenever you have something not going your way. So I recommend everyone to have something like this for when they don't feel that well or when they want to get back to do something.
Exactly. My cup is bigger than yours, Etienne.
I think so.
Coffee in the morning. And I love what you're saying, Etienne, because what that is all about, if we think about it, so if we dig deep, right, it's all about certainty. The moment when we have a string of losing trade, uncertainty creeps in. And I can tell you, it's not just for newbies. It's for my guys who traded 20 years just the same. It's for the pros, the insta traders, the prop traders just the same. They start feeling a sense of uncertainty. They start doubting themselves because the markets are changing, right? So some are saying I'm lacking confidence now because the market is changing. I need to make sure that I keep performing because I have to feed my family, right? So the question is, how do we create a sense of certainty? What is it that gives you the sense of certainty? And as you said before, you look at your previous stats and you say, I've done it so many times. I can get back to my level of performance again. Or for others, it's doing introspection. For me, introspection is really important, that I look at what is it that I notice about myself? Has my behavior changed? Has the market changed? And then I need to talk to other people. So I talk to, hi, Young. I talk to other traders who are on the same level as I am or on a higher level and say, what is it that you see? So I'm the kind of person, I need other people's feedback. And then that's where I find my sense of certainty. Then I process what they're seeing. I match it with my own views and then get certainty. I get certainty through going for a run. I get certainty through, so I need to be physically active. The danger is that many, they look for certainty in eating. And eating is not conducive for high performance in trading. So when you eat, crunch on a carrot, crunch on something healthy, because if you have alcohol or chocolate, that actually has a really negative impact on your stress levels and is actually spiraling you down, right? Yeah.
But- And for the people who are like more beginners or more toward like so, I can know that I will get back on the because I've done it many times in the past. But for people who haven't done that in the past, how can they feel good about it or
Yeah.
more certain?
This is really common. So I was working with a trader. He had this feedback fruit loop, as I call it. So he said, I need to be confident in order to be successful, to make profitable trades. That's a very common trap for beginning traders who have not had a string of profitable trades under their belt, who don't have a strategy that is fitting their personality, that is fitting the markets, who don't have 15 years in different market cycles as yet. Of course, there's a sense of uncertainty. So, and then they say, once I have made some profitable trades, then I know that I can feel certain and confident in my abilities. So that's this loop where what A triggers B and B causes A. So how do you do that? So they need to find a sense of certainty in progress where they say, right now, yeah, it is, right? Perfect metaphor for Forex, Fruit Loop. And So Etienne is so knowledgeable. Thanks, Young, for acknowledging that. Etienne is pretty awesome. So I love working with you, Etienne.
Perfect.
So back to our Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
So the sense of certainty comes in trusting yourself that you improve every day by 1%. So the sense of certainty comes by saying, I'm now making $100 loss every day. And I'm going to find the way in making $99 loss, so improve by $1. Making maybe $90 loss, improve by $10, and improve consistently. That is where your sense of certainty comes in. When you have someone who says, I need certainty in when I get certainty when I have made profitable trades, that is outcome focused. So if we go back to process focused, that is where our certainty comes in. Does it make sense?
Yeah. For me, it makes total sense. Yeah. And I've seen this before. So I think the way I was able to get to a point where I had like all these experiences in the past is just to keep going through and keep finding solution where I had problem. So either by talking to traders or stuff, and that's how I would be able to get back on track.
Exactly. And that's where being your own best coach comes in.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of people on Twitter posting, oh, I had a shitty day. What do I do? And it's like, what does shitty day mean? And it reminds me of this cartoon of IT personnel. My computer doesn't work. Well, great. What about doesn't work? Or, when I go to the mechanic and say my car makes funny noises. What kind of noises? So become specific. So before you post a question, do some introspection. What is it that is working well? What was it that was not working well? And at the beginning, you need someone to talk you through, to teach you how to ask your own best questions. And once you've done it a few times with someone, then you can do it on your own. So the certainty comes in by knowing what questions to ask, finding out what your weakness was, and then going out and find the answer. Yeah, that is resilience.
Exactly. And I think a lot of the common things that people are gonna have is like lack of discipline, lack of confidence. But what can help is that you ask yourself these questions every day. Like that's what I started doing a long time ago. So every day or every week I would look back on my trading, ask myself some questions, and that's how I would be able to like find out what I have to improve. And like not asking like what's working not well, but asking like how would I rate myself and why not? Like why this number, why not higher, why not lower? And I could find some ways to improve that way many times.
Etienne, we are always so quick. Humans are so quick to judge other people. I see that with the Me Too movement now, which I'm not a big fan of, I have to say, even though I'm female, and I see that a lot of women are being taken advantage of. But what that has morphed into is really destroying people. Like here in Australia, we had this guy, amazing actor, and one woman came out and said he sexually harassed me, and his career is gone just like that. What happened to proven guilty until you're proven guilty? So rather than judging other people or the way we maybe judge other people, we should maybe judge ourselves first on our behavior and then look at how we can improve. And so I see that on Twitter where other traders are being torn down just the same. And it's like every time you want to tear down someone else, that's what I do. Every time I have the urge to make a stupid comment on Twitter or to laugh at someone, I take that as a reflection and look at myself and said, why did that trigger a response in me? What is it within me that I do that reflects the thing that I don't agree with what he is saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
So that could be also a good start.
this is really funny, and I started doing that like a few weeks ago since you started to talk about it, and that's really interesting to think about. But I feel like a lot of people are really hard on themselves as well. So like they are
Yes.
gonna judge themselves really fast and really hard. So there's something to be done there too. Do not judge yourself too far, too fast. I think.
Yeah. And now we need to look at why do people do that. So, now we need to dig into deep. And again, this is what we're doing in our training. We dig deep into why does the individual judge themselves so harsh? Who taught them to judge themselves so harsh? What is it that they're trying to protect themselves from? by judging themselves so harsh. So it's not done with saying, don't judge yourself, because it's ingrained in someone's behavior so deep down. It's an unconscious thing, and a thorn in the sole of your foot that stops you from running fast. And when we can remove this thorn, when we can go back to what caused this behavior that you have today, then the behavior that you have today, the judging yourself so harshly, just dissipates, just goes away. And what I see most traders do is they try to, I have to stop judging myself. I have to, oh, I did it again. So just saying, I have to stop judging myself. I'm such an idiot. I judge myself so much, keeps you in that fruit loop.
This is called judging yourself too. So pretty much the same.
Yeah, exactly. So becoming your own best coach is all about knowing what questions to ask, knowing what to do with the questions, so how to find the answers, and not just writing it down into your diary and say, tomorrow I will be a good boy, tomorrow I will take my loss, or tomorrow I will not take my profit too early, but really going further and saying, all right, so I have this behavioral pattern. If you look at Tom Dante's Demon Finder, or I don't want to use the word on public TV, but the Sea Finder, as he calls it, then say, so this is the predominant behavior that I have. What causes that behavior, and where can I find help in changing that behavior? Because I tell you guys, it's not done with simply writing into your diary, tomorrow I will not do that again. It's not working.
Yeah, well, this can work for some like really small action that you want to improve like the next day, so things that you missed like that day. But you cannot change your whole trading with just today, or tomorrow I'll be disciplined or I'll be confident or I'll just follow the plan. That doesn't really work. So
yeah, interesting comment, John. I can tell you, I have a lot of traders who do use Robo Trading, and they do need a mind coach, because what's your Robo a result of, unless you have one of those scammy thingies like Fab Turbo thing? They don't work. The markets change, Robo trading, you need to change your EA every 6 months on average. I have friends who are in the EA self-learning environment, and they're big guys. They're not retail guys. So every 6 months you need to change your Robo in order to have it perform.
Yeah. And someone was telling me like a long time ago, I don't know if it's Andrew Menaker who said that, but he said that people have the same issues with EAs, like the same mental issues, because they have to turn them on and off, and they don't know when to do it, or they feel like, oh, I'm not confident, so let's turn off the EA, and let's wait till the market gets back, or so the same problem happens.
Exactly. Yeah. And also what I found with one guy I'm working with, he has an EA, but as you say, he interferes with it.
Yeah.
Because the EA tells him to go short, and he's like, why would I go short? Or the last 4 or 5 trades, the EA went short, this thing failed. And then, as you say, right, as Andrew says, Andrew Menaker, by the way, is amazing. So I know, Etienne, you have an interview with him. Well worth following this guy. Very different to my approach. And I always say I'm specified, I'm specialized, I'm an expert in my part of trading psychology. And Andrew is an expert in another part. So please go out, train yourself in all aspects of trading psychology.
Exactly.
Really valid point.
Yes, are good for certain market. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. So Mandy, I think. Oh,
you have to rush, huh?
Yeah.
You have to run.
I have other people in my videos today. It's pretty interesting. Some actors I hired, they walk back and stuff, and they go around. I like it. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go. I have to pack up for my flight this afternoon. But if people want to go further, we have a program that we're running, and that is basically self-paced. You do it on your own, and we do calls every 2 weeks. And then you want to talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah, so basically we call it what do we call it again? The
Full-time Forex Trading Accelerator.
Yeah, full-time Forex Accelerator, because as I mentioned before, I look back at my career and think, why was it so freaking hard, and why did it take me so long to become proficient at trading? And learning from that, how could I have shortcut my experience, my trading success? And so the same with Etienne. Etienne has been trading a little bit less years than me. He's a bit younger, but Etienne has interviewed so many traders. So he has 200 years worth of experience by doing his work. So we put our heads together and said, what would have shortcut our trading experience? What would have made it faster? What is the thing that was missing for us to make it easier, faster, and better? And based on that, we developed this program, which is 6 modules, which is the foundation for your trading. So it's very foundational. It's like when you build a house, you need to put in the foundation. You need to do soil testing, which is your see you later, Young. Thanks for joining us. So you need to do soil testing, which is akin to knowing your behavior, knowing your personality. You need to put in a solid foundation, which is your business plan, knowing how to build a trading plan, knowing how to continuously improve your trading plan. And so, how to become your own best trading coach. What does it take? What are the successful traders made of that you can model instead of trying to figure out what works best, what you need to do. And so giving you benchmarks and questions and questionnaires that you can walk along easily and smoothly. So I always say, and I'm sure you had the same in Hong Kong or in the countries that you go to, when I moved to Australia, I always got lost. It was so frustrating because guess what? There was no iPhone, there was no Google Maps. And I needed to leave an hour early to arrive on time to my appointments. Now I have my Google Maps. I immediately check how to get to my destination the fastest way. And this is how we see ourselves. We look ourselves as a Google map for the young aspiring trader. So whom is this program for? It is for traders who are stuck in the jungle and know that they have a system that works for them. So we are not teaching you a new strategy. We're teaching you how to improve your strategy or how to get a strategy, for example. You're teaching a lot of how to, not what to do. It is for the trader who is at the very beginning and want to build in a solid foundation and know that trading is not a get rich quick scheme and not get quick rich game, but that it takes solid work and a few years to build your foundations to create solid, resourceful, and sustainable trading success. It is for the trader who is stuck and don't know why they are stuck. We can help you with that as well. So it's 6 modules that you learn, study in your own time. And then Etienne and I, every 2 weeks, we're going to do group mentoring, helping you to implement what you have learned, because that is where traders get stuck. They read a book, they get lots of insights and knowledge and skills, but they don't know how to implement it. And that's where the value lies. This is what we are going to do in group mentoring. And it's 297 US for the training all up. Yeah.
Perfect. I didn't put the link below, guys, but desirtrade.com/success is going to get you to the page. And I think this is valid for like the next 24 hours because we have been launching it recently and we are still in the launch promotions. If you want to get there, then the link's going to be that link, desirtrade.com/success, and you can check out the program.
Fantastic. So we're looking forward to working with you guys because we think that is the very thing that's missing for traders. That's the key ingredient missing for traders. And then finding your strategy that works for you will come easily to you. Because if you don't have the foundation in, it will be like having fog on your glasses. It will be like not seeing the forest for the trees. It's once you start this training with us, it is like the fog is going to disappear once you have a Google map that you can follow easily and accelerate your dream to becoming a full-time Forex trader, because we know that's everyone's dream. Hundreds of research studies, everyone wants that.
Yeah, and you know what's the fun thing? Sometimes I try to walk with people or ask them a question and try to remove the fog that you talk about. And most people, when you like remove all the fluff that they are talking about and stuff, they all have something like almost all have a strategy working. It's something that they can trade. They just don't know, and they just want to add too many things and want to try too many different strategies and things that
That is so
they don't have anything
true.
working. But it's just a matter of
Yeah,
like focusing on what you know a little bit more and using it
yeah,
properly.
it's so true. And I have the same experience. Like, when I do the assessments, most of them are 90% there. It's like it's tiny bit,
Yeah,
this tiny screw that they have to tighten, or just, add fuel to your Ferrari. Um, that's missing for them to breach that gap, to get over this gap,
yeah.
and to start moving forward
But they think
nicely.
that they have no strategy and that they cannot trade, which is really
Yeah.
funny. We'll see.
So interesting. So interesting.
Yeah,
You better get ready because you need to
yeah.
catch your flight.
Totally, for sure. I'm gonna have to go. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Ciao.
Thank you.